Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back. So this is the second session with the YouTube live. So last session we discussed about the main practices about the breathing meditation and the sound meditation. So today the main topic is how to transform the anxiety as support for meditation to transform into awareness. So as I mentioned last time, we need to practice step by step. So I hope many of you did the first step, which is bring awareness on your breath or sound. And there's some other meditation techniques like mental recitation. So mental recitation meaning you can come up any word, any phrase, or any spiritual prayer, mantra, whatever you want. You can just come up a word in your mind and repeat that word again. That will become meditation too. So these meditations are the first step of meditation. So then how will these help? Like anxiety, right now we are facing the global pandemic problem. Many people ask a question about how this helps anxiety. So in this meditation techniques, this first step meditation technique is we are bring our attention on the breath. So normally our mind focus on the problem without based on the meditation technique. Then what happen is we will exaggerate. We will make smaller problem as big problem, making a mountain out of molehill. I mentioned that last time, right? So but our mind is really kind of like restless normally. Normally what I call the mind is the crazy monkey mind, always moving, always jumping, and it always need to have some kind of stimulation. Monkey mind loves job. Without job, cannot just rest. I heard of that. There's some kind of study that in the laboratory, the scientists give them two choice. One, for 15 minutes, do nothing, and another is there's electric shock. So you can give yourself electric shock. So then, what the most people choose is give electric shock themselves. So normally, do nothing is worse than getting electric shock. So therefore, the mind is always looking for stimulation. But if without awareness, without meditation technique, without the consciously guiding your mind, then your mind will lose with the force of the environment, force of the situation, force of ignorance, aversion, craving. So all this, you cannot guide yourself. You're become under control by this. But then the meditation is you are purposely or consciously guiding your mind on the breath again. Then what we call, eventually we will have the freedom of mind, meaning our mind become pliable, workable. Like if you go to the gym, you do physical exercise. When you do physical exercise, it is good for your body, like it will develop the immunes and your shape of your body become good and become healthy and something like that. Similar, the mental exercise, bring your mind on your breath. So when I was young, I have this question, I have panic attacks. And my father teach me the breathing meditation. And at the beginning, I thought, this is kind of stupid, I really want to free my panic. But the technique is watch your breath, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Tomorrow, also breathing in. Next day, also breathing in. Then my father said, don't fight with the panic, even worse. So you have to say, welcome to panic. So at the beginning, I was very confused, but actually, it is really helps. So these are the first step of meditation. And today, I will teach the second level of meditation, which is the once we have some experience of the awareness with the breath, with the sound, with the mental recitation, then actually you can use anxiety or panic as support for meditation. So this is really important. So normally for the anxiety panic, the main problem is panic of panic, anxiety of anxiety. So when I was young, the main problem is the panic of panic, wanting to get rid of panic, don't like panic, fear of panic. So this is the main problem. So when I begin to say welcome, although at the beginning I'm faking it, I really not really mean it. My father said you have to welcome panic. And I say hello panic, welcome. If I say welcome, then you will not come back again, right? So the main motivation is wanting to get rid of panic. So excuse me, I'm faking it. But although I'm faking, but it still benefits. So therefore, if you face panic, if you use panic as support for your meditation, then what happens? Eventually, panic becomes your friend. Panic becomes your teacher. Panic becomes support for your meditation. So this is a really important. So for me, and this is not only with the panic, with the anxiety, with the depression, with the anger issue problem, with the low self-esteem. So any part of the mental affliction, suffering in our life, we can transform. And also, even there's no suffering, no problem, if you do this practice, then what we call it really helps our mind become more pliable, workable, creative. Mind become more creative, become more peace, more happy. So actually, happiness has limitless. Yep. So now, how to practice this? The second step? How to transform panic as support for meditation? So now, the emotion, the suffering, the panic is a lot of related with the sensation in the body. So normally, when we are having anxiety, there's a lot of sensation in our body. Like from stomach, there's some kind of like sensation comes unpleasant, like burning fire or some kind of like tight. It goes all over the body. Then sometimes the heart, the speed of heart, the speed up, heart become fast. And then sometimes sweat, get headache, and sometimes I feel like I can. When I was young, when I had panic, I feel I cannot breathe in, and maybe I'm going to have heart attack now. So there's a full of sensation. Then of course there's an image also. There's a voice. There's a bala 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 yada yada talking in our mind. So the image, voice, but the mainly is about the sensation. There's a belief. So normally there's four things: image, voice, belief. Belief meaning this is not good. This is the way. This should. So that kind of like belief. And the strong one is the sensation throughout the body. So now we will watch the sensation first. Sensation in our body. So I will ask all of you, raise your hand like this, and keep your spine loosely straight. Not need too tight like this, but not like this. Just balance. hands and hold your hand like this. And now, please observe whatever sensation in your hand right now. Please close your eyes. Just observe. And maybe pleasant sensation, maybe unpleasant, maybe warm, maybe cool, maybe tingling, maybe no sensation. If there's no sensation, also okay. Whatever there in your hand, whatever sensation, be with it. You don't need to control. You don't have to look particular sensation. If there's no sensation, let it be no sensation. And then pleasant, unpleasant, positive, negative, doesn't matter. Just be. Now, please slowly touch your hand and to be aware of touching sensation of your hand. Now, please slowly rub your hand slowly and to be aware of touching sensation. And then slowly, faster, you can rub your hand faster. And continue to be aware of sensation. Maybe your hand becomes warmer, the heat is increased. Okay, please. So please observe sensation in your hand. Might be cool sensation of tingling or warm. Just be with it. Doing versus being. So you don't need to do anything, just observe. Be with whatever sensation. Okay, now put one hand down and one hand bring close to forehead. Almost touch your forehead. And then observe the sensation in your forehead. Whatever sensation there, just simply to be aware of it. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, or nonsense. No, cannot find sensation. Also okay. Now you can put the other hand also down and continue to be aware of sensation in your forehead. Now move your mind awareness from forehead to top of the head. Just observe whatever sensation on the top of your head. And if you can find sensation, great. If you cannot find sensation, also great. And relax muscles on the top of your head and in your body. Just let it be as it is. Now from top of head to back of head. Now in the face. Neck. Shoulders, right and left shoulder. Back, upper back to lower back. Chest. Stomach. Arms, right arm and left arm. legs, our entire body from head to feet, and whatever sensation, pain, relax, warm, cold, tingling, gravity, or cannot find particular sensation, also okay. Just be as it is. You don't have to do anything. Since you don't need to do anything, there's no mistakes also. And the awareness is just glimpse. You cannot aware of the sensation long time, only few seconds, 1 second, 1 second, something like that. That's totally. And then you might have a lot of thought, emotion, bala bala, yada yada, here and there. No problem. Let them come, let them go. As long as if you not forget the sensation, whatever thought come, that's fine, totally fine. So be yourself, be free, you are free. The awareness is always free. It is pure, it is present. The awareness is always calm. So be yourself, be free. You don't need to control any sensation. You don't have to pretend to be anybody. You don't have to imitate anybody. Just be yourself and be free. Now please slowly open your eyes and rest your mind as it is for a while. Okay. Now finish. How was it? So, normally what we call, there are two experiences when you watch the sensation. So, in order to understand this, I make new kind of like term for this. So, what we call freedom. So I said horizontal freedom and the vertical freedom. So I come up this name. So that way easy to remember. So what is the horizontal meaning? Flat, So horizontal freedom meaning when you watch the sensation in your body, for some people you cannot find sensation. That part of the body, the pain disappear, or whatever pleasant, unpleasant, just disappear. There's a gap. So gap is only 1 or 2 seconds, not very long. It's a gap. So that's good. That is the kind of like a non-conceptual state of mind, the beginning of non-conceptual state of mind, just short time. And this gap comes between past and future thought or sensation. So what I call horizontal. So freedom comes between past and future, just for a few seconds, 1 second, something like that. Very good. So how many of you, when you watch the sensation now, and you cannot find, there's a gap, 1 or 2 seconds gap, raise your hand. Of course, I cannot see, but I think if you find that, if you raise your hand by yourself, it's good that you will reflect on it, become more clear. Great. So that's the first experience. And then second experience is the vertical. Vertical meaning some of you, and this is the most of people, when they watch the sensation not disappear. There's no gap. Sensation is still there. But it is a freedom. So the traditional, we have example is when you see the river, you are out of river. So normally what happens is we are fall in the river, carried by river. So we lost in panic, we lost in anxiety, we lost in depression, we lost in anger, hatred, we lost in the low self-esteem. So we lost in that. But now, when you see this feeling, when you see these emotions, that means you're out of the emotion, but emotion is still there. The awareness has become bigger than emotion. Like right now, you are seeing my video, isn't it? So when you see my video, you are not in the video, you're outside. So the freedom comes in vertical. The space between the object and you. So that's a really important point. So sometimes people only expect the first one, horizontal freedom, the gap only. I have anxiety. When I meditate, anxiety should go away. So then that kind of expectation doesn't work with the meditation. Then you only see the one part of the freedom only. But actually, that's not the only way. You can see it. And when you see the anxiety, eventually you're outside of anxiety. The moment of you see, you're out of that. That's totally. And at the same time, slowly, the anxiety becomes support for your meditation, become object of your meditation. They become your friend, become your teacher. So this is the second freedom. So when you look at the sensation in the body, there will be two experiences. Maybe you can see, maybe you cannot see. If you cannot see that, great. One of the best meditation experiences. If you can see, great. One of the best meditation experience. So very easy. Only two possible, right? You can see or you cannot see. Both are correct. So what is the important here? Important is the awareness, not the object, not the anxiety. If there anxiety, okay, not anxiety, okay. So this is the how to use anxiety as support, transform or support for the meditation, support for awareness. But for the practical level, we still need 4 steps. So first, as I just mentioned you, watch the sensation. So that's the first one. But if you are new to meditation, or if the anxiety is very strong, like panic, like me, or the depression, uh, whatever stress, many people have very strong stress also. If that is emotion is very strong, then at the beginning, become worse, looks like getting worse. That's good sign. What we call when the river is muddy, you cannot see fish in the river. When the river becomes clear, you can see the fish in the river. But actually, that is the good sign because the river become clear. So therefore, sometimes what we call waterfall experience at the beginning looks like getting worse. So when you watch the sensation, if you feel like overwhelmed, if you feel like become stronger, then the second step is what we call try something different. Try something different, meaning don't watch the sensation. Watch your breath, back to the breath, or listen to the sound. Or if you watch sensation around the heart area, very tense, then watch sensation in the feet. There's a less sensation or the neutral sensation, numbness. So change the meditation technique. It's very important. If this becomes overwhelmed, it can be, But then it's after a certain level, it's okay. You can come back to the sensation again. And this becomes stronger, change again. Sometimes you can make another emotion also. When I was young, sometimes I cannot watch my panic. It's very strong, overwhelmed. And I make another emotion, which is anger. So anger is not my major emotion, but easy to make anger, You don't have to learn anger. You don't have to study anger to create with you, born with it. So I make anger and I watch my anger. Oh, good. I can watch anger. I feel like something achieved. You can do that. These are the try something different. And number 3 is what we call step back. Meaning, as I told you before, the panic of panic is stronger than panic. And for last session, I mentioned about the natural suffering and self-created suffering, right? Like sickness is natural suffering, but the fear of sickness, aversion of sickness, rumination about sickness is more problematic than just sickness, right? Painful, more painful. So the panic of panic, aversion of panic, resist feeling of panic is stronger than panic. So then step back. Don't look at the sensation of the panic, but go behind the belief, the dislike feeling, the fear of anxiety, fear of the panic, fear of anxiety. So I'm using here a lot of example about the anxiety and panic, but any other emotion, same thing. Depression or self-esteem, stress, all the other, same thing. Anger, jealousy, same thing. So step back. So that's number 3. And number 4, which is my favorite practice especially when I was young, which is take a break. And you know how to take a break, right? Everybody knows how to take a break. So take a break meaning you can do physical exercise, especially with a strong emotion. Physical exercise is really beneficial. You can even do exercise at your home, or read books, or sleep sometime tired. You do all this. Watch first one. Try something different. Second one. Step back. Third one. And you're really exhausted, tired. Then just sleep. Also. Or do something else. Drink tea. So these, don't meditate for a while until you feel a little bit relaxed. So that is the number 4. So you need to do this circle again, like that. So that is the practical level. Then eventually the anxiety become support for your meditation. And then the power of anxiety also diminishes slowly. And then anxiety becomes same as the breath. When you watch breath becomes support for meditation. When you listen to sound becomes support for meditation. Now anxiety is same thing. So sometimes what we call poison transform into medicine. Suffering become cause of happiness. So eventually the real happiness will develop within you, and that happiness is not need depend outside circumstances. Okay, so now I will stop the teaching here, and there's some questions, so I will answer the questions. So the previous some questions. We cannot answer all the questions, so we will choose the questions related with, especially with the practice. So the first question is, how it is possible to stay calm when a beloved one is in the trouble, suffering? So normally what we call, as I mentioned before, let go, but don't give up. So letting go meaning accept. Sometimes you cannot do too much. We have this one very famous text, the Way of Bodhisattva text. And the text said, when you're facing problem, obstacle in your life, ask a question. Do I know solution? Do I have solution? If you know solution, if you have solution, then no need to worry too much, because it's gonna be okay. But if you don't know solution, if you don't have solution, then just worry, not too much benefit. Just worry too much, even sometimes cannot find the solution, and we lost sometimes the energy. So accept life is like wave of the ocean. Life is like up and down, but up and down is good. Up and down is, we can learn from up and down. We can grow from up and down. The obstacle become opportunity. So don't give up, and use your knowledge, wisdom, love, compassion, skills, power. We are actually amazing. Try your best to solve the problem. So try your best to take care of your loved one, and listen, and then whatever you can do. But sometimes we cannot solve all the problem. And then if you have this anxiety for yourself, to walk, to meditate with the anxiety. The 4 steps, remember, those things are important. How do we quiet our mind these times when the heart is beating so loud from fear? So you can do these 4 steps also. Or if the 4 steps is quite uh, difficult for you, then just bring your attention to the breath, or sound, or the mental recitation. So mental recitation could be just say peace, and you don't have to worry about the meaning of peace. When you do that, you have to close your mouth. Don't use your lips and tongues like this. So when you are reciting this whatever word in your mind without using your lips and mouth, then you have to use awareness, because if you say through mouth, then your mind can go everywhere. But if you don't use your mouth, then you need to use awareness. So therefore, it becomes meditation. Quite easy. This is one of my first meditation technique. How should we discern what is helpful from what is harmful? So normally, the main important is your own motivation, then whatever action, of course. But sometimes all the action, they have some kind of like side effects. Like example, if people become vegetarian, okay, vegetarian good because you don't want to harm the animal's life, and you eat vegetables, great, good motivation. But eating vegetable also harms to the bugs, when they make farms. But it's not like you are eating the vegetable to harm to those insects. So that is some kind of like kind of side effect there. But the most important, try your best again. So any decision, there's no one perfect decision. That is impossible. Any decision in life, some gain, some sacrifice, some loss. That's okay. Should one leave their feeling of anxiety totally untouched and simply allow it? Or should it be worked with in some way? You cannot really avoid these feelings. If you try to avoid these feelings, then normally what I said, when you say no pizza, you will think more pizza. So our mind does the opposite normally. Don't worry, worry more. So you cannot fight it, but you allowed. You're allowed, but you're not lost in it. You're back to the present, back to being, back to awareness, back to the breath. So that is how we deal with it. How can the meditation be effective in our daily encounter with people? So the meditation, actually, what happens is when you meditate, there's our mind become more calm and applied. So not just calm like, then you become a little bit dumb, right? But at the same time, mind become applicable, meaning mind become more creative. So what applicable meaning? If you don't want to be suffer, panic, there's some freedom there. If you want to think, you can think. If you want to develop love and compassion, you can. But normally, we don't. We have no control of our mind. So here, you can guide your mind. You can train your mind. So that is the freedom. So freedom, meaning the happiness or joy through awareness, comes within yourself. And that is not necessarily depend on the outside circumstances. Okay, so now there's some live questions. My friend who's collect some of questions. So I will look at that here. How to deal with other people worrying too much in the situation right now. So when other people worrying too much, how you deal? Everything need to be balanced, of course, but normally we need to listen. So in this time, everybody is panic, everybody is worried too much. So sometimes people want to share. people need somebody to talk. And one of the best way to help them, just listen, deep listen. You can listen. And if you can listen, the other people feel healing, talking, especially talking about those difficult moments. So this is another very important. And then from your side, you also try to transform your anxiety, also try to be peace, and that also automatically kind of like benefit. So sometimes I teach meditation, and many couples they come, how can I teach meditation to my wife? How can I teach my meditation to my husband? So I told them, don't teach them. So show them. If you become teacher, then it becomes worse. You just show. If you transform, you feel calm, you feel nice. There's nature radiation. So these are, I think, really important. Can we help our? Can we help to bring pandemic COVID-19 to the end? Of course, eventually end. I think we need to do everybody. Of course, this will be end. Everything is impermanent. Nothing is permanent. And after that, we will learn something. Global level, we will grow something. Also, there's a lot of outcomes comes from this way also that I believe. What is the best method or practice to manage panic attacks? So that's just I mentioned. So first is the first step, try to establish some experience of watching breath or sound, mental recitation. If you are very new to meditation, try this at least 1 month, every day 5 minutes. Then 4 steps, watch sensation, the panic in the body, whatever sensation of the panic. It's horizontal freedom, temporal. Yes, horizontal freedom is temporary, but then that freedom actually grows. At the beginning, just seconds, but then you watch again. Then the real freedom comes to awareness. So for the awareness, horizontal meaning the gap, vertical meaning you can see you're out of the panic, but panic still there. It doesn't matter eventually. So awareness is always there. So my father said, awareness is like sky. Thought and emotion is like cloud. So no matter how crazy cloud there, it doesn't change the nature of sky. But then eventually become lasting, last long, okay? At the beginning is temporal. At the beginning, a lot of up and down. How can cause of suffering become cause of happiness? So just now here, the suffering. So panic is suffering, and eventually aversion, craving, ignorance also cause suffering. But if you observe them, they become object of your meditation. They become support for your meditation. If they disappear, there's a gap, horizontal freedom. If they not disappear, then it's the vertical freedom. They become your support of your meditation. The freedom comes. So these are how to transform suffering and cause of suffering. Eventually, happiness, cause of happiness. How to deal with the body pain during meditation? So if you feel pain in your body, something you can observe the pain, and don't try to fight. Don't try to make the pain disappear, okay? If pain not disappear, it's okay. Continue to observe. But if pain is too strong, overwhelmed, then try something different. Step back and take a break. Try those different practices. So now I'm going to end this teaching for today, and I hope this teaching will benefit for all of you. And the most important is that we need to what we call application. So application meaning we need to apply. When you hear this teaching, sometimes sounds good. Wow, I can do it. But then we forget. Then we excuse a lot of excuses. So we need to build up habit. So to build up this habit, it will take some time. At least it will take what we call 21 days to 30 days first at the beginning. So let's say there are two kinds of meditation, formal meditation and informal meditation, right? Formal meditation meaning you are trying to spend fully time for your meditation. So that means no telephone, keep silent, keep your spine loose straight, and then meditate. So that's a formal meditation, as I mentioned, 5 minutes, quite good every day. So try to have formal meditation every day, at least 5 minutes. So if you, at the beginning, if you promise too much, cannot continue. After 1 week later, then you cannot continue. Just a little bit, but try for 30 days, whether you like or don't like. After 30 days, it's become habit. Then the body naturally look for that meditation. So it's easy, just like brushing teeth every day. It's become habit. So easy, right? So that is the formal meditation. Then informal meditation is you can apply this meditation everywhere, anytime, with any circumstances. Just glimpse, short time, anytime. While you're watching television, while you're eating, while you're drinking, while you're walking, while you're at the job place, or while you're having the social distance, stay at home, anytime. So there's no such time or place that you cannot meditate, and you don't have to worry about the posture all the time for the informal meditation, because sometimes maybe you're just walking, you're in the street, you're in the car, just glimpse. Like if you practice on the breath, just glimpse of breath, or listen to sound, just glimpse, glimpse, glimpse. So what we call, if there's empty container, and this empty container, within this empty container, the water liquid from the ceiling, drop of water liquid falling into the empty container, one by one, one by one. In the end, what happens? This container will be full of water. So therefore, sometimes what we call short time, many times. It is short. We don't, our attention doesn't last long. Just glimpse. But then repeat again, repeat again, repeat again. So that is the really helps for us. So I hope until next week, all of you try to practice these meditation techniques, and hopefully it will benefit for all of you. Thank you.